Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We've got some major, jaw-dropping, and possibly franchise-altering news coming out of the NFL world today. Micah Parsons, the star linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys, could potentially be leaving the team and, believe it or not, heading to their bitter rivals the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, you heard that right. The one player that many consider the face of the Dallas Cowboys defense might just wear a completely different color next season, and it's sending shockwaves throughout the football world. What would this mean for both the Cowboys and the Eagles? Is there any truth to this rumor, or is it just some out-of-left-field speculation? Well, I'm about to break it all down for you, and you're going to want to stay tuned to hear all of the details and what this could mean for both teams. First things first, let's talk about why Micah Parsons has become such an integral part of the Dallas Cowboys. Ever since his rookie year, Parsons has been nothing short of phenomenal. He's been the defensive anchor for the Cowboys, and one of the most dynamic and exciting players in the entire NFL. The guy can rush the quarterback, he can cover in pass defense, and he can stop the run. Essentially, he's a game changer, the type of player you build your defense around. From the moment he stepped onto the field, Parsons immediately made an impact, earning accolades, Pro Bowl selections, and even making a case for Defensive Player of the Year in his first couple of seasons. It's hard to overstate just how valuable he is to the Cowboys. When you think of Dallas, you think of Micah Parsons. He's a cornerstone of the franchise, and for many Cowboys fans, the hope for the future rests squarely on his shoulders. But here's the problem: despite all of the success, there's been tension surrounding his future with the team. Parsons, being one of the most talented and sought-after defensive players in the league, is undoubtedly going to command a hefty contract extension when his rookie deal expires. And that's where the issue starts. The Dallas Cowboys have always been a team that prioritizes offense over defense, especially when it comes to doling out big money contracts. We've seen it time and time again with their reluctance to spend big on defensive players, choosing instead to invest heavily in the offensive side of the ball. Just look at the massive contract they gave to Dak Prescott. And while Dak is a great quarterback, it's become clear that defense wins championships, especially in today's NFL. Micah Parsons has the potential to be the leader of that defense for the next decade, but the question is, will Jerry Jones, the Cowboys owner, open up the checkbook and pay Parsons what he truly deserves? The answer isn't so clear. And that brings us to the latest news that's causing waves in the football world. There are reports, some from credible NFL insiders, suggesting that Parsons has been frustrated with how things have unfolded with the Cowboys' front office. With the team's continued struggles in the postseason and their inability to get past the NFC divisional round in recent years, Parsons could be getting impatient. He's a player who's built to win, and he wants to be part of a team that's seriously committed to winning a Super Bowl. If the Cowboys are going to continue with the same status quo, it's possible that Parsons might not want to stick around to see how it all pans out. Could he be looking for a fresh start somewhere else? And where could that be? Well, the rumors have surfaced that Parsons might just be interested in joining the Philadelphia Eagles, and this is where things get truly mind-blowing. We all know how intense the NFC East rivalry is. Cowboys versus Eagles is one of the fiercest, most passionate rivalries in all of sports, and for Parsons to go from wearing the iconic star on his helmet to the Eagles' midnight green would be an unprecedented move. Micah Parsons leaving the Cowboys for the Eagles would be one of the most shocking moves in NFL history. Think about it, the Eagles are currently one of the top teams in the NFC, and their defense has been playing lights-out football for the past few seasons. With a proven head coach in Nick Sirianni, a dominant defense led by players like Fletcher Cox, Darius Slay, and Brandon Graham, and an offense that is more than capable of putting up points, the Eagles are legitimate Super Bowl contenders. Adding a generational talent like Parsons to that defense could elevate them to an entirely new level. The thought of him lining up alongside the likes of Cox, Slay, and Graham is a nightmare scenario for any opposing offense. But for Cowboys fans, the idea of their beloved superstar jumping ship to their most hated rival is hard to fathom. Now, let's break down why this is even being talked about. The first major issue here is Parsons' contract. As I mentioned earlier, he's still on his rookie deal, which is set to expire after the 2024 season. While the Cowboys are certainly going to try to extend him, we've seen in the past that Jerry Jones is hesitant to spend big on defensive players. Could Parsons, who has every right to expect a huge payday, feel undervalued by the Cowboys? It's entirely possible. The Cowboys will likely be looking to lock up key players on the offensive side of the ball first, and Parsons could be left waiting in the wings, frustrated that his worth isn't being fully recognized. If the Cowboys aren't willing to pay him what he deserves, that's a major red flag. Meanwhile, the Eagles have one of the most aggressive front offices in the NFL, and they're not afraid to make big moves. The idea of Parsons joining a team that's already in Super Bowl contention, with the added benefit of a likely lucrative contract offer, could be too appealing for Parsons to pass up. Another reason for the potential move could be Parsons' desire for a Super Bowl. While the Cowboys have a talented roster, they've failed to make it past the NFC Championship in over 2 decades, and many fans are growing tired of the same old story. Could Parsons, a player who's hungry for championship success, see the Eagles as a better opportunity to finally secure a Super Bowl ring? It's no secret that the Eagles are in a prime position to compete for championships over the next few seasons. They have a deep roster, and with a proven coach like Sirianni, they could offer Parsons a legitimate shot at winning a Super Bowl. In contrast, the Cowboys are still in the process of finding their identity, especially on offense, and their postseason performances have left a lot to be desired. Parsons might be looking at that and thinking that his best chance at a title lies elsewhere. But let's not overlook the personal aspect of this decision as well. Micah Parsons is a competitive guy. He's driven by his desire to be the best, and if he feels like the Cowboys are not putting him in the best position to achieve his goals, it makes sense that he would want to explore other options. The Eagles, with their elite defense and Super Bowl aspirations, could be exactly what Parsons is looking for in a team. Plus, the rivalry aspect adds a whole new layer of drama to this situation. If Parsons were to switch sides and go to the Eagles, he'd instantly become one of the most polarizing figures in the NFL. Cowboys fans would never forgive him, and Eagles fans would hail him as a hero. It's a storyline that's straight out of the most dramatic sports narratives. So, where does this leave us? Is Micah Parsons really going to leave the Cowboys? And is he really headed to the Eagles? The truth is, no one knows for sure just yet, but there are enough whispers around the league to make this a very real possibility. As much as Cowboys fans don't want to believe it, this situation could end up being one of the most shocking moves in recent NFL history if it comes to fruition. For the Eagles, adding Parsons would be a game-changing move that could solidify their defense as the most dominant in the league. For the Cowboys, it would be a devastating blow to their Super Bowl aspirations, and it would leave a massive hole in the heart of their defense. As of now, this is all still speculation, but it's a story that's worth following closely. If you're a Cowboys fan, you're probably feeling a mix of disbelief, anger, and fear right now. And if you're an Eagles fan, you're probably salivating at the thought of Micah Parsons joining your team. Whatever the case may be, you can bet that this storyline is far from over. Stay tuned to this channel, and I'll be sure to keep you updated as more details emerge about this potential blockbuster move. Until next time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Could Micah Parsons really be on his way out of Dallas and to the Eagles? Let me know what you think. See you in the next video.